The next thing I want to talk about is break tags. I briefly talked about this in the previous videos, but break tags are something that you're going to use over and over again. Most likely you will run into them, or you'll run into a situation where you will need to use them. What are break tags? Break tags are essentially pressing the Enter key on your keyboard. For example, we have a sentence, and then we have a sentence, and then we press the Enter on our keyboard and it goes down. That's what break tags essentially do, but they do them within the HTML world. If you want to spread images apart and have one image at the top, maybe a few breaks in between, then an image, or if you want to break apart a paragraph, you use break tags. It really adds white space and makes things look a lot nicer, so that they're not all clumped together. That's really what break tags are all about. Break tags will look like this. They have the brackets around them like usual, and then they have BR. You can do BR lowercase or BR capitalized, and it doesn't really matter. I like to keep things consistent, so I try to do things lowercase. It's really up to you. If you're thinking, does it really matter? Well, there you go. Now, break tags will sometimes look like this, where it has a BR space slash, but they do the same thing. Break tags don't have an open tag and close tag. It is just combined together. So, essentially, the break tag is the open and close tag itself. This is one of the special cases where there isn't really an open and close. Here's what's nice about breaks. Let's say, for example, you have a whole paragraph. We have paragraph like this. So, this is a paragraph. What's nice about the break is, yes, if you are using an HTML editor like Composer, you can simply go through and press enter. If you're looking at the code from the standpoint of just the code itself, and you want to put breaks into the paragraph or the images, it's just not doing it, then you can always go into the code. You can find where there should be breaks and just put the BR tag. You could put the BR tag here. Let's say I want to break here, 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 and here. When I copy this over, for example, into Composer, into the source tag, you can see that there are breaks. We've broken it up here. If we go back to the source tab and we say, okay, it had a break, but we want an additional break to create kind of an empty space or a line in between these paragraphs, then all I have to do is add two breaks connected to each other. There we go. Obviously, adding breaks is very easy, and when I go back to the normal view, I'm able to see that. So, like I said, for the majority of cases, you can use a WYSI/WYG editor, but there are some cases that you will run into where the editor is messing up. I've seen sometimes when editing WordPress, you're editing the code and you're running into issues. Knowing that I can go to the source code and simply add a break tag to the source code makes life a lot easier. Same thing with images. You can add an image. We can go here and we can add an image. Let's say, for example, that it looks like this. You've got text here, and then you've got an image here. With a WYSI/WYG editor, obviously, all you have to do is press enter. But if you were reading the code and you couldn't figure out why the editor was doing that, you could find the image, which is defined by the image tag here, which you'll learn later on. Once you find that, all you have to do is add a break tag to it. For example, if I want to add 3 break tags, I'll go back to normal view, and you can see that there are 3 break tags right here. So, that's what the break tag does. It actually comes in handy in many cases. You wouldn't believe how many cases it would come in handy. It doesn't really make sense right now, but it'll make a lot more sense when you begin to set up any pages, set up your WordPress sites, or anything like that. It just makes life a lot easier when you understand how to use it. That's how simple break tag is. Just remember, it's BR, or sometimes it's BR/ as well. I like to just keep it simple and stick with that. And there you go.